From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 4:30, a school bus terminal engulfed in flames. What officials are telling us about the damage.
Indiana reaching another grim milestone during the pandemic. The increase in deaths and the new strain of the virus now in the U.S.
And the next round of stimulus checks on its way, when you could see that money in your bank account and how much it'll be. Here at 4:30, we do want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Good morning to you, Megan.
Good morning, and we got a good cold forecast. I bundled up again coming into work, Lauren. And Todd, is it going to get much colder?
Actually, it's going to get warmer here. Here's the trade-off, though, Megan. It's going to get warmer, but we're going to get the rain in here as the day goes on. So it's a trade-off some people may take and some others may. But here's the key thing right now. This morning, we're above freezing already. So as this precipitation starts to come in, it's going to be just all rain for us, at least here in central Indiana. 36 in Bloomington, 40 in Lafayette. 36 is the current temperature up in Muncie. Still a beautiful shot of the city skyline from IMS, but within the next couple hours, we'll start to put some raindrops on this camera, and you can see the rain now approaching the state line. The further north you go in Indiana, mainly across extreme northern Indiana, there's a little bit of a wintry mix, but that'll go over to all rain pretty quickly here this morning as well. And as we expand out, this whole band of rain is just slowly going to work its way through the state during the course of the day today. So unless you're walking out the door within the next maybe 2 to 3 hours, you'll have to have the rain gear and the umbrella. If you are walking out the door, still take the umbrella, though, because here's how those rain chances ramp up throughout the day today. Only about a 10 to 20% chance here through Good Morning Indiana. Once we get into Good Morning America and beyond, that's when we're going to see these rain chances basically all across central Indiana. We'll time it out for you using TrueCast, Lauren, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at your commute as you're heading out the door this morning. This is at I-465, our NDOT traffic camera near State Road 67 on the southwest side of town, where traffic is moving along up to speed, as you can see. And as Todd mentioned right here, roads are dry for your early morning commute. We'll continue to keep a close eye on them, though, and let you know if there are any trouble spots you need to avoid. Megan?
Thanks, Lauren. Well, new overnight, fire crews are investigating what caused a fire engulfing an Anderson school bus terminal. The fire began around 10 p.m. on West 2nd Street on the city's north side. Video from witnesses shows a large flame coming from the window, and fire officials tell WRTV that the local school buses are parked nearby the terminal, and it is unclear if they are damaged at this point in time. Additional details have not been released right now.
And at 4:32, want to get to the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic here in Indiana. The state setting another grim record for the virus. The State Department of Health reporting 164 new deaths. That surpasses our previous record of 143 deaths set last week. More than 7,700 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19 since the pandemic began. 1,925 occurred in December alone. Indiana has also reached 500,000 total cases of the virus since the start of the pandemic. 4,028 new cases were reported on Tuesday. We'll have an update on the spread in each county that's coming up later this morning. And we can tell you that a new and more contagious COVID-19 strain from the UK, Megan, has now reached the United States.
That's right, Lauren. And this as the nation mourns a loss of incoming members of the House of Representatives to the deadly virus. ABC's Avery Harper has the latest from Washington.
Louisiana Congressman Luke Letlow is now the first member of Congress or member-elect to die of COVID-19. The Louisiana Republican husband and father of two was hospitalized on December 19th and never recovered. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards saying in a statement, quote, "I am heartbroken he will not be able to serve our people as a U.S. representative, but I am even more devastated for his loving family." The news comes as the more easily spread mutation of COVID-19 from the UK is discovered in rural Colorado. The patient with the variant is a man in his 20s with no travel history. Health officials saying distribution of the vaccine, which is believed to be effective against the variant, is critical. Only 2.1 million doses of the vaccine have been administered. That's far behind the 20 million that the Trump administration promised by the end of the year. President-elect Joe Biden issuing a stark warning.
If he continues to move as it is now, it's going to take years, not months, to vaccinate the American people.
Trump administration officials say the federal government can only do so much.
The federal government doesn't invade Texas or Montana and provide shots to people. We support the state and locals in doing that.
Meanwhile, hospitals in California are struggling to keep up with the number of patients who need critical care.
It's nonstop.
Hospitalizations in Los Angeles County up nearly 1,000% from 2 months ago, and hospitals are at risk of running low on supplies.
If we can't keep an adequate supply of oxygen, patients are going to die.
We have yet to see the impact of millions of travelers this holiday season on coronavirus case numbers. Many health officials are bracing for surges in the new year. Avery Harper, ABC News, Washington.
Vice President-elect Kamala Harris has now been vaccinated for COVID-19. She received the Moderna vaccine on live national television, and Harris urged Americans to get the shot, saying it is quick, safe, and relatively painless. Her husband was also given the vaccine. President-elect Joe Biden was given his COVID vaccination last week, and Vice President Mike Pence received it a week before that. As for President Trump, a White House official said he won't be administered the vaccine until it is recommended by his medical team.
And Moderna says it's planning to offer its vaccine to its employees. The company says that its workers perform essential services by developing and delivering the vaccine. So by allowing them to get vaccinated, it will reduce absences and disruptions to this process. Both the employees and the adults who live with them can get the shot. Moderna says vaccinations will be entirely voluntary and employees will not have to pay anything out of pocket. Right now, Moderna and Pfizer's vaccines are the only ones approved for emergency use in the United States.
The Treasury Department says $600 stimulus checks are on their way, and some people have already received theirs through direct deposit, and paper checks are being mailed out today. The House passed a measure to increase the amount of those checks, but now it is facing some roadblocks. With the Senate, Reed Bennon has the latest.
Those are the three important subjects the president has linked together.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell laying out conditions for increasing the amount of direct coronavirus stimulus payments going to eligible Americans.
This week, the Senate will begin a process to bring these three priorities into focus.
Those priorities: increasing direct payments to $2,000, repealing liability protections for internet providers and tech companies like Facebook and Twitter, and setting up a commission to look into President Trump's baseless claims of voter fraud. It's those second and third provisions that Democrats say are, quote, poison pills designed to make the bill fail.
It's on the desk of Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader of the Senate. And what is he saying? I want to throw a few poison pills in there, see if I can discourage people from voting for this.
President Trump grudgingly signed the coronavirus relief package over the weekend. The House then passed a measure to increase payments to $2,000. But with the two so-called poison pill provisions McConnell is inserting, the check increase is all but doomed to fail, a move Democrats say was deliberate.
McConnell is intentionally trying to kill the $2,000 payments. We are not going to be able to pass a new piece of legislation with massively complicated internet reform and a voter fraud commission in it.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
And back here at home, it is 4:38. The city of Indianapolis is now taking steps to remove homeless encampments here from Monument Circle. In 2 weeks, part of the circle will close to encampments and personal property will be removed. A notice from the city says those areas around the circle are blocking pedestrian traffic and disrupting businesses. The IMPD homeless unit says it will provide temporary or permanent housing to anyone who's been living in that area. The Department of Public Works says it will also store their items for up to 60 days. They'll begin cleaning up the circle on January 12th, and you can find more information by clicking on this story in the WRTV News app.
A woman's Christmas package still hasn't arrived. It's at its destination 3 weeks after it was sent. Working for you, we're getting answers from the Postal Service.
And local shops continue to find success despite this pandemic, and we're checking back in with a local game store to find out how they're adapting so they can stay open. Todd.
And Lauren, today would be a good day for some games on this Storm Team 6 alert day as we deal with rain making its way through the area. The rain will be pretty steady throughout much of the daytime hours and could even end as a little bit of light snow. We'll break it all down for you coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Come on, Chad. Whatever it takes.
Welcome back. The Postal Service says unprecedented volume and worker shortages caused by the pandemic continue to delay deliveries. That means some families are still waiting for their Christmas gifts.
This year has been especially hard for me and many people I know. And it was just a little way to have a little fun and try to show, you're thinking of people.
We first introduced you to Aggie Atkins last week. At that time, she hoped her gifts that she mailed to her family in Massachusetts would make it in time for Christmas. Now, a week later and days after Christmas, the package is still in limbo. And that's despite sending it on December 10th and paying extra for priority shipping. Atkins says she knows postal employees are working hard, but she's frustrated with the lack of transparency.
My issue is not with how hard the postal workers are working. I just wish there maybe was some more transparency or maybe more available information about why this, it's not our first Christmas at the USPS. And I don't know. I know people are working very hard. I know that they're trying their best, but I do feel like there were some changes to the Postal Service this past fall that maybe impeded the efficiency of the holiday season.
Atkins says she has reached out to USPS through the chat feature on its website. Now she's trying to speak with a customer service representative in person. WRTV reached out to the post office specifically about Atkins' case. A spokesperson said the Postal Service is working to correct the issue and is investigating concerns. Those who use Priority Mail Express are eligible for postage guarantee if they are not delivered.
And here at 444, new rules may further pave the way for delivery services to use drones for those services. For the first time, the Federal Aviation Administration says it's going to let operators fly small drones over people and at night without a waiver. The drones must also have anti-collision lights and other technology to identify them and their operators. The changes could give a boost to companies like Amazon, UPS, and others that are exploring how to ship goods with a drone.
Well, Lauren, instead of crossing the road, many chickens are spending more time in backyards. Take a look at this. Poultry sellers in the U.S. say the pandemic has led to a surge in chicken sales. Chicken keeping was becoming more popular before the coronavirus as people took to more sustainable ways for their food and eating. But the pandemic hit the fast forward button on this trend, with many people having more time at home. Demand has been up for chicken coops, feed, and other supplies. I don't know about you, but it sounds like a fun hobby.
Yes, I always thought that would be fun,
yeah.
And I've heard the eggs are fresh and really great, so something to consider, I guess.
Yeah.
So a winter storm here moving across the Midwest. This is Des Moines, Iowa. The National Weather Service has reported 10 inches of snow there. The State Highway Patrol says that they responded to 91 vehicle crashes because of the weather. There were similar traffic issues up in Minnesota, which saw about 4 inches of snow. The storm moved further across Chicago as well, giving them their first major snowfall of the year. By overnight, the city saw around 3 inches. Now back here at home, Todd, you kind of told us we'd have like a roller coaster of weather this week, and I think today we're kind of like inching up the tracks, getting ready to go over the hump.
It's like click, 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 click,
Yeah.
click, click, click. We're going up here on the roller coaster with temperatures that'll eventually get to 50 degrees. So we're on the warm side of this system, at least for the day today. But then temperatures will drop quickly later on this evening, and then we go back up. So that's why roller coaster ride, like up and down the hills. 34 right now with dry conditions across the area. Feels like 25 though when you factor in the wind, and it will become pretty breezy throughout the day today, but all the temperatures right now are above freezing. 40 in Lafayette, 34 in Indy as well as Tipton. One exception there over in Richmond, a degree below freezing at 31. But it is a WRTV storm team alert day for us, and that's why you see the red here. I think we're dry mainly through about 8 a.m. After 8 a.m. the rain will develop west to east across the area. It's a pretty steady rain throughout much of the afternoon, but look at the temperatures. We're up into the mid-upper 40s, even some 50s likely across most of the area. There's a little bit of a mix right now in extreme northern Indiana, so unless you're driving up towards Chicago, South Bend, or even into Michigan, you're not going to run into the wintry weather here in central Indiana, but all this rain will slowly start to make its way into into the area. First into Lafayette, where it should get there probably within the next hour or so, and then into the Peru area. And look how far this stretches all the way down into Texas. So what's going to happen is this band of rain is going to go through today, and then another wave is going to move right along that front and bring us quite a bit of rainfall on Friday. So it's kind of a 1-2 punch for us, with both days a half an inch to an inch of accumulation of rainfall likely. Here's the timeline. By about 8 o'clock, it's moving into Muncie, Indy, down towards the Bloomington area. Once it starts, it's pretty steady with some pockets of moderate to heavy rainfall as we get into the afternoon hours. And then as the colder air comes in, there could be a little bit of a changeover to some mixed precipitation, some snow showers, especially in northern locations. Don't be shocked if you see that. But keep in mind today, temperatures are going up close to 50 degrees, a lot of rain. So a lot of that snow will melt as soon as it hits the ground. It could eventually start to accumulate a little bit. We're talking about a half an inch or less on some grassy areas and on car surfaces. But I think the roads will pretty much be okay. And then it pushes all the moisture to our south by the time we get to midnight and beyond. Today, half an inch to about an inch of rain, maybe a little bit more to the south, a little bit less as you work your way to the north. Now, tomorrow's a cold day for us once again. Could be some snow showers around. Temperatures in the mid-30s before we shoot back up to 52 degrees on a New Year's Day. But New Year's Day, we're looking at another half an inch to maybe inch of rain across the area. So when you combine today, the rain coming on Friday, we could see over 2 inches of rain in spots, so that could lead to a little bit of localized flooding, something to keep an eye on. Saturday and Sunday, kind of cloudy, 40s. And then as we get into Monday and Tuesday, not bad for January there, Megan. We're talking sunshine and temperatures in the mid-40s.
Hey, not bad at all. I'll take it, Todd. Thank you. Well, playing the right game at the right time. This week, we're checking back in with local businesses that WRTV featured in We're Open Indy this year. Moonshot Games had to get creative in order to bounce back during this pandemic. And we first got to know the Noblesville Game Store in May. The space was originally set up to house dozens of gamers, acquaintances, and strangers playing at tables with each other. Of course, COVID-19 changed all of that. We checked back in this month. Moonshot Games owner Jason Manship says that his team took the challenges as an opportunity to adapt and possibly capitalize on the situation.
Board games and puzzles have been really hot this year, so we're kind of blessed to have the right product at the right time, right? Even though COVID sucks for everyone, it's something that's interesting in that people are staying home and they're spending more time around their dinner table playing games with their family. They're many times in isolation and wanting something to do that's not just watch TV, and so they're doing more puzzles.
Look at all those games, and Moonshot Games temporarily closed its Mass Avenue location until the COVID activity declines. But Manship says they still hope to make that a premier event space when Gen Con is able to come to town again. And the company has been able to expand its customer base this year in another way with toys. The team opened up a pop-up toy store for the holidays, and on Black Friday they sold enough games to pay for all 3 months of rent in the space. Manship says he plans on establishing a permanent toy store near his game shop in downtown Noblesville. And Moonshot Games is just one of many local businesses that was able to bounce back despite the global pandemic this year. Join us this week as we check in with some of our favorite spots we featured in the 2020 in our Encore special edition of Inside the COVID Crisis. We're open. That's at 5 p.m. New Year's Day this Friday right here on WRTV.
Well, time is running out to enjoy Christmas at the zoo. Today's the last day to see the Indianapolis Zoo all decked out for the holidays. You do need to reserve tickets in advance, and you can do that over the phone or through their website. I want you to know masks are required there, and this year the attraction ranked 4th on the annual USA Today's list of best zoo lights.
Looks like fun, Lauren. And today is a special day for one of America's favorite foods. Can you guess? Bacon.
Bacon.
Oh, yeah. After the break, how Bacon Day started and what the creators suggest you do to celebrate.
I'm getting hungry already. And as COVID-19 cases in children continue to rise, other respiratory illnesses like the flu are not as common this winter. Coming up new at 5 o'clock, we talk to a doctor at Riley Hospital about what to expect in the coming months. It is 4:52, and we'll be right back after this short break.
WRTV.com.
All right, welcome back. It is time to celebrate one of America's favorite foods. Today, Megan, is National Bacon Day.
Oh, yum. I'm a fan right here.
Yes.
And it can be enjoyed any time of day, of course, with eggs for breakfast, on a burger, or covered in chocolate even. Bacon Day was created in 1997 to give people a holiday everyone can celebrate, and the creators recommended celebrating by eating bacon and watching films featuring actor, of course, Kevin Bacon, or ones with bacon in the title. All right, so trying to think of a couple of those.
And I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah, Todd, you got any ideas for maybe bacon in the title?
Not right off the top of my head.
We'll do a Google search
We know
later.
Kevin Bacon, though.
I just look at that and it makes me hungry.
I know.
Go for some bacon right about now.
I know. Any time of day.
Something to warm up, right?
On this alert day, you'll need the umbrella here throughout the day. Today, you can see the rain approaching the state. In fact, it's made its way into northwestern portions of Indiana already. This will spread from west to east, so it will be a wet day from start to finish. It's a cold day tomorrow with some snow showers early on, and then another wet day on New Year's Eve. And then you can see we kind of flatten out the temperatures as we head into 2021. But definitely an up and down end to what has been an up and down year across the whole entire world for that matter, but at least weather-wise in central Indiana. We'll talk more about this forecast for you coming up when we continue in just a couple minutes.